Illinois Stories is brought to you by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by the support of viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello, welcome to Illinois Stories. I'm Mark McDonald in Decatur in Central Park, where a walk through the park on this spring day will reveal some critters known as tree huggers that have been installed in Central Park. It's all part of a public arts project by the Decatur Area Arts Council. Is that right, Sue?
That's
okay.
Right.
And what we've done today is we've asked Sue Powell, who's sort of the curator of this informal exhibit, to join us for a walkthrough. And then we've invited the artists who created these tree huggers to come and explain their work. So, Sue, thanks very much. And this is kind of a kick because I don't know, you don't get into a public park very often and just sort of happen onto these critters. It's kind of cool.
It's really fun, isn't it? This is actually the first year that we've had all of the tree huggers in one location like this in the park, but due to our downtown renovation, we couldn't spread out on the streets, and I love it. It's an outdoor gallery, and so it's wonderful. People come and they can walk around. It makes a much better visual impact. It just worked out great.
Well, if we look between us up on this first tree, you can see somebody has really gone, I mean, that is real art.
Isn't that
there.
cool?
Yeah, I mean, that's cicada is real art, and the artist is going to join us.
Good.
But what I wanted to clarify first is some of these are very, they're done by kids and they're very informal and they're just a lot of fun. Others of them look like serious art. So when you walk through here, you don't really know what to expect.
That's right. I think it was over a period of a week that they started to crop up, and so when they first started and there were only one or two of them, people didn't quite know what was going on. Now I think they realize that it's actually kind of like an exhibit. So it's been very much fun for us to see the public and their reaction to everything. All of the trees have a different purpose too, because some of them, as you said, are done by actual artists, but others are done by people who would like to promote a cause or have a group, and it was just a great project for their group. So businesses promoting their business, events promoting their events. It's just a great opportunity to use the arts not only to spruce up the park and bring in the spring, but to promote some great ideas.
Let's walk up this way a little bit, and we'll go past, we've seen the cicada. We'll walk past that cicada, and I say we'll get a much better look at that close up as we go. But you have dozens of trees in this park. You have about 14, I think there are 14 of them that are actually been used for tree huggers. And it's better than in the past, because it used to be that if you walk around downtown, you might get lucky and spy one. But here you can actually make a project of the walk, can't you?
Absolutely. And we really encourage it, even as a family outing. Come to the park and go around and look at all the different trees and then vote. We have a People's Choice Award, and you can vote on your favorite tree and email that to the Decatur Area Arts Council's email address at arts4, numeral 4, all, at decaturarts.org. And there's a $50 award for the People's Choice.
So if you wanted to, you could either go over to the Arts Center and put your vote in the box or vote by email. And there has been some ballot stuffing, hasn't there?
Well, I can tell when friends of the tree hugger have been visiting the trees, because I'll get several for that particular tree. But it's all in great fun, and a lot of appreciation has been shown for the work that's done on these.
Yeah. Well, like I say, we're going to get to see 8 or 10 of these during this program. We've invited the artists, through your help, to show up and explain to us, to justify their work, okay, and to explain to us how they did it. So
absolutely. Well, this was an outgrowth of actually kind of a different program. Initially, 4 years ago, we started with tree huggers that were only to be knitted or crocheted, based upon some projects that we had learned about in other states. And the second year, actually, the gal who created the cicada said, hey, I don't knit or crochet, but I'd love to do something sculptural. And I just thought, oh my gosh, yeah, and let's take this and make it Decatur's own, and that's exactly what's happened.
Well, great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, Judy DeBuch, you had a hand in 2 of these trees.
Yes.
And you're particularly interested in recycling, as we could see from the first one.
Yes, we had a blast doing it. My friend Gay Donahue actually designed the Giggles tree, and I just came over and helped her. And then a friend at Dell's Popcorn Shop, Emily Hahn, one of our younger employees and now our new manager, came in and helped me with the cherry tree.
Well, let's take a look at the Giggles tree first here, okay? Well, let's walk around this way so we can get a good look at it. Trash talking, huh?
Oh, yes. Oh yes, we are trash talking at Giggles anyway. We have some great
You're
cards.
good at that, huh? You and the customers
And we
do
have
a lot
lots
of
and
trash
lots of
talking.
fun and giggles. So we just picked up a lot of scraps and recycled this lady's head that we have used for a prop before. The old wire came from an electrician. A friend of Gay's cut the trash barrel in half
I was
for
going to say,
us.
you found the perfect tree.
Exactly.
I mean, that tree and that barrel fit perfectly.
Well, Sue was great. Sue Powell was great and gave us our measurements, so we grabbed it up. So yeah, we love our trash talking lady.
That's really clever, very clever. And then you said back here.
Back here we have all about recycle.
Oh, okay. So
you want to recycle?
Oh, okay. All right.
Ah.
There's the ticket. Okay.
So.
And then the cherry tree. I like this play on words too.
Yes, this is our cherry tree from Dell's Popcorn Shop here on Merchant Street. And the chair itself, all three of our chairs are recycled. And a lot of the shoes came from a thrift store. The moss was used in a previous
life.
Previous life as well. And then the cherries were too. We just kind of put them on. And
the theme here is if you've got it, make it work, use it, make it work.
And look what you
don't
get.
have to buy new, right?
It looks just
and
great.
Did you pick the colors of the tree or the chairs?
The chairs, yes.
Yeah?
The yellow was already painted. We just spruced up a little bit of the pink and then the lime green. And we actually had this in the other side of Dell's that our customers could sit down on this tree, on that chair, really. Now they could come and sit on the tree.
Now when you're finished, you'll have to take it back in there, and these will be celebrity chairs.
Yes, and we'll use them again. We'll use them for another display. It's a lot of fun. But that's Dell's cherry tree.
Well, thank you. It's clever. Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's a lot of fun. Thanks, Mark.
Well, Bonnie, Allison, I guess it's kind of a natural for a basket maker. But you've never really had to make a basket quite as big as a tree before, right?
No.
To hold a tree.
This is the first to be that big.
Wow.
Yes. It was a lot of fun, though.
I bet it was. What kind of material would you use in a basket this big?
I actually use reed, and the wire that goes around the tree, I believe they use in concrete, rebar or something like that. It's very sturdy. So I just wove that, using that as a frame, and then use the reed to weave in between.
Let's take a look at this wire that you're talking about. You say it's very strong.
It is.
And I have seen this in building projects and like sidewalks and stuff where they would pour concrete over that. So you're probably safe there. I don't think that's going to be coming off that tree anytime soon.
No, I had some sore arms for a few days weaving that, just kind of trying to keep it pushed out so I could actually work with it.
Now the baskets are gorgeous, but what about the branches that you chose?
My friend Carol actually gave this to me several years ago. They're willow branches, and I just had it in my head. I wanted to use them for something special, and I've been wanting to do the tree hugger project for about 2 years now. This concept's been in my head, and so I finally, this year, I'm going to do it, and it all just kind of came together, and
they
I had a
didn't
lot
dry
of fun.
out too much for you. They were still flexible enough that you were able to use them?
These were actually dry, and so I didn't actually have to wet them or anything. The actual reed I wet, and then these are actually wired on afterwards.
I love the little birds.
Thank you. Initially, I meant to put these on the inside, and then I thought they would kind of blend in with the tree too much. So that's when I ended up incorporating them on the outside of the basket.
Yeah, it really looks like spring, especially with the pink and the white sprigs. I love that.
Thank you.
Very, very clever. And you had some help, didn't you?
I did. Sean Rideout actually helped me with the metal part as far as cutting and bending them and kind of manhandling it for me and putting it on the tree. I needed some help with that.
You make a good team, huh?
We do. We make a good team, definitely.
Thanks, Bonnie. It's very nice.
Thank you.
Diana, you know, it's interesting what you tried to do with this tree is make it look like it's wearing a bracelet.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yep.
Do you have a bracelet that looks anything like that?
No, I don't.
No, you don't. But you kind of wish you did, I bet.
Yes, I do.
Your arm probably isn't long enough to handle that, but if it were, you could use that, couldn't you? You and some of your friends over at Macon Resources put this together.
Yes, we
right?
did.
And it was a group effort.
Yes.
Okay. How did you get the idea to do a big bracelet on the tree? Like that?
We just think about it and think about it. Then we decided, why not? Let's make a bracelet out of it.
And that tree just was dying for a bracelet,
Yes,
wasn't it? If I asked you to walk over with me on that tree, would you point out some of the aspects of that tree for me? What do you show me some of it?
Like we got friends.
And friends. Speaking of friends, the girls behind you, they helped you with this project,
yes, they
didn't
did.
Okay, all right. So you got friendship.
We got paint, glitter. We got dots, smiley faces. We got hope.
Oh, that's hope. Yeah.
And we got everything, different things. On the other
Did
side.
you paint those balls?
Yes, we did.
Wow, you really did, huh?
Everybody painted them.
Uh-huh. And put the glitter on.
Yep.
All by hand. It's kind of like doing a Christmas tree, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Really pretty. And you got, oh yeah, that's what.
We got love.
Yep. Love up here.
We love the tree, so we decided why not? We just want to decorate the tree so we can.
And faith.
And faith.
Uh-huh. And you got bows. You got to have bows.
Yes.
Pink bows in the springtime. Oh, good job, ladies. That's a very good job. And it'll be just as much fun to take down as it was to put up.
We want to keep it up forever.
You want to keep it up forever? I don't know if the city's going to want that.
I know.
But they may insist that you take it back to Macon Resource. You probably have a tree there that's dying for a bracelet.
Probably.
Well, thanks for showing it to us.
Ain't no problem.
Okay. Well, Melissa Munsterman, you know, many of the trees that we've seen have been real playful.
Yes.
You know, and just sort of frivolous.
Yes.
But this tree is not a frivolous topic, is it?
Not at all.
It's very serious. Your second cousin, Zoe, this tree is in honor of, has a type of leukemia.
That's correct.
And the whole purpose of this butterfly tree is what?
Is to bring awareness to childhood cancer and to bring the point that it's severely underfunded and that people can reach out and help Zoe and other children like her by visiting the website curesearch.org to help with that funding.
Yeah. And in fact, I asked you to bring a picture of Zoe and a friend of hers, Jake, who also had cancer and unfortunately passed away. But there's Zoe, in whom the tree is named, right? It's
That's
Team
correct.
Zoe. And she's at the doctor today.
She is.
So her mother couldn't be here, but she's at the doctor. So you get a chance to show us the tree. And we talked about the butterflies. What's the significance of the butterflies?
The butterflies are a symbol that the kids like, and they released those at Jake's funeral. And the colors are Zoe and Jake's favorite colors. So we put those together and just added a few more butterflies. We said it wouldn't be maybe the prettiest tree or the most artistic, but it was the most informational tree in the park.
And here you have some further pictures of Zoe and Jake.
Yes, during their treatment as well.
I'll be darned, that's nice. And you have little placards around which have cancer facts. One is that 46 children in the U.S. are diagnosed with cancer every day.
That's
and it's
correct.
something people should be aware of, isn't it?
Yes.
It's very nice. It's very nice. It's a good reminder that there are a lot of kids suffering and that there's a way to help them.
Yes, definitely a way to help them. If they visit Cure Search, that seems to fund directly to the children and not the other types of cancer that
And
people
if they
suffer.
vote for your tree,
Yes.
that $50 award goes to cancer
goes
research.
to the Cure Search,
Okay,
yes.
all right. Well,
So
thanks for
vote.
visiting with
All
us.
right, thank you.
Well, Melissa Downs, we were admiring your cicada earlier. And cicada almost rhymes with Decatur. Decatur
Right.
cicada, right?
Right.
Okay, all right. And we were admiring it earlier, and you know, I'm looking at it now, I'm thinking, man, that thing must weigh a ton.
Yeah,
It's a lot of work.
It was a lot of work, and it does weigh a ton. With the position, the way the tree is, we picked it for the composition of how the tree is, you know, has the V and it matches the shape of the cicada, but also you could literally put my husband, my helper, up in the tree so he could hold the cicada while we strap it around the back.
Yeah, and you know a little bit about composition because you're an art teacher,
Correct.
right? So when you looked at that tree, you said, aha, there it is.
Right. We had pick of any tree in the park here in Central Park, and I knew that was the tree that would fit the cicada perfectly. It kind of also, some people have walked by and said, well, it doesn't stand out as much, but I didn't want it to stand out. I just kind of wanted to blend into the environment.
You have to look for it.
Right.
But once you see it, it's undeniable. It's
right.
there, it's huge.
Just like a cicada would be.
Exactly, exactly. Now tell me about the materials, because it's interesting. You're an art teacher, but you live on a farm.
Right.
So you got a lot of this stuff around, right?
Yes, we have a heaping scrap pile, as you might call it. We don't throw stuff away too often.
Right, right.
But that's been our goal the whole time we've been making these, is to use all recycled materials. So the materials with the cicada is you have the teapot for the face. You know, I got a new teapot, so we recycled the teapot. Measuring cups. In the middle of the cicada is a bush hog. It's from a bush hog mower.
Wow.
The plastic part at the top is from a 30-gallon barrel of farm chemicals, and the wings is probably my favorite. We had cut those, and the way I painted them, I studied the cicada's wing pattern.
Did you?
And I taped it and painted it.
It's neat.
It really topped it off.
It's really neat, and the cicada's wings do look that color when the sun is on them, don't they? Yeah. Now, we talked about how heavy that thing must be. Can we walk around the back? Because I want to see what your husband had to go through to strap this thing to the tree.
Yeah.
It took two of you, didn't it?
Yeah, it took
to get it up there?
Well, he held it, and then it's just ratchet straps that you might use with like a deer stand.
Yeah, I was going to say it looks like a deer stand, the way you'd secure a deer stand up there.
So we had designed it so it would be pretty secure up there with it being quite heavy.
It's kind of neat. You get another angle of it here too. And I'll bet you've made these before, and you save them, you got them around the house. I'll bet you this one stays around the house too, don't you think?
Yeah, it'll be going on a tree.
If you can find the perfect tree with a V shape. The perfect tree
at our house, yeah.
Well, thank you for showing it to us. It's cool. Well, Holly, emerging spring. We can kind of see what you got in mind there. It's very colorful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now you work in embroidery a lot now. So how did you choose to do a big old butterfly on a tree?
I did a dragonfly last year, about half that size, and I did embroider it. It was mainly embroidery, and I wanted to do something much bigger this year. And when I saw how big it was going to be, I didn't think the embroidery was going to be.
A tree kind of dwarfs anything that you're going to want to put in it, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. So you really have to think big, 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 big.
Yeah.
And a big embroidery would take you years and years and years to do, right?
A good while, yeah.
Yeah. So what did you use on the butterfly?
That is tarp and wire and duct tape, and then of course I painted it. So
let's walk over to it.
Okay.
Now you have to be careful too with this because it's out in the elements. If you just let this flap around, it's not going to last very long. So you sewed the wings together, so you could see that there were two wings, but so they wouldn't get all jazzed up. And you also had, I can see against the tree, there's a butterfly's body there. What's that made of? It comes down here.
Wire and duct tape, and then it's got some synthetic yarn over it.
And you can see that it's all, actually, that's pretty good. You didn't have to use too stout a wire. That works pretty well because it allows it to move a little bit. You want it to move a little bit, I guess. And what's this over here? We see emerging spring.
Yes, that's the chrysalis, and that is a empty milk jug I started with, and it's full of dry pasta, and it's plastic bags and tape and plastic bags and tape, and until I got it where it sort of resembled a chrysalis.
You needed the right weight. It had to be the right weight, and it moves a little bit, which is just about right. Okay. I've never seen a chrysalis that big, and I hope never to. Hope I never do. And how did you choose the colors for the butterfly?
I have a little girl who's 7 that is really taken with monarch butterflies. So when I decided to do a butterfly, it was just...
It has to be a monarch.
It had to be a monarch, yeah. And I wanted it to be realistic so people would look at it and go, holy cow, there's a giant monarch in that tree. So.
And when this is over, that's going home with you, right? And your daughter better have a monarch butterfly.
If it lasts that long, yes, it's going home.
Well, thank you. It's pretty.
Thank you.
Linnell Smith, you cannot walk this way without noticing this tree and this artwork. It gets your attention, doesn't it?
It does. I think it's the pink coat.
No, I don't think it's the pink coat. I think it's these tree huggers hugging this big old tree.
Yes.
Now, originally, this was not your idea. You were gonna do a single individual hugging a tree, I guess.
Correct, because the tree was much smaller. It was like just a little 6-inch diameter tree, and suddenly it grew from 6 to 20-inch. So I had to think of something really quick on the fly.
When you found the tree that you had, they had offered you, you said, I'm not going to find a lady that I can hug that tree.
Long arms.
It's fantastic. Now, this is really, it's called a hug and a prayer, and
Correct.
You didn't do this on your own. You had a group from your church.
Correct.
What's that group about?
Now, our group is the Prayer Shawl Ministry Group out of Grace United Methodist Church, and what we do is we make shawls for people that need shawls, because the shawl is always like the hug part of the event there. And we make shawls for people who are in distress, like have just lost a loved one or maybe are fighting cancer. but we also make shawls for celebrations, like if you just had a baby or if you're getting married, things like that. And what they do is basically they contact us and we send out the shawls appropriate to the event.
And so most of what you do is knit, I guess.
I'm a knitter. Yep, I'm a knitter, but we also have crocheters, and we're always looking for weavers in the group. So we use any type of fabric art or fiber art, if that's the right word. And so we knit it. Typically, we get about 20 shawls made per month.
Wow.
And we distribute them both locally, and we also mail them out to various people.
Now, you didn't make these clothes, did you?
I did not make these clothes. These clothes I got from the Goodwill store, the local LSA store, and clothed the
well, it is really cute, and of course, I mean, you can see. Of course, you could have made the hats. You could knit those hats.
Could have, yeah. I could have made the hats. Anybody in our group could have made the hats, but no, didn't. Ran out of time.
Okay, these are literally 2 tree huggers right here.
Correct, yeah. And the idea was the tree needs a hug also.
Well, you got a very interesting group, and y'all stay really busy, don't you?
We do. We stay busy constantly. Like, I typically make about 3 or 4 shawls a month, and then the other ladies also in our group. There's about 6, 7 ladies that crank through these shawls.
Well, maybe what you can do is train these folks. So you could use a little help. You can train them when they're through with this tree. Maybe they could be useful.
You got it. You got it.
Thanks, Lynette.
Thanks a lot.
Public projects like this don't just happen without public support. This exhibit is supported by Dynagraphics Fast Impressions and will be here in Central Park for viewing into May. With another Illinois story in Central Park in Decatur, I'm Mark McDonald. Thanks for watching.
Illinois Stories is brought to you by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by the support of viewers like you. Thank you. For a DVD copy of the program you've just seen, send $19.95 to Network Knowledge, P.O. Box 6248, Springfield, Illinois 62708. Be sure to include the program name, subject, and when the program aired. You can also order with your credit card by calling 800-232-3605.